Joel Sherman and John Heyman, who write for the New York Post as well when you don't see him here on MLB Network, they say that the Angels are willing to entertain offers on Shohei Ohtani. They said they're not shopping him, but with teams calling, they say they will listen. And, you know, Artie Moreno, who owns the Angels, he loves the Stars. He loves Mike Trout. He loves Shohei. So any kind of deal that's going to involve Shohei Ohtani, it's got to go all the way up to the tippy top before it's approved. But the point is, look, bottom line, they started off, Harold, so hot. And then, man, the bottom has really fallen out. They've dropped 15 of their last 20 even right now. Mike Trout, he's banged up here. And so...
Well, they're in an awful place. I mean, they just are. This is, as people have been saying to me, a Herschel Walker deal.
Okay.
That changed the Cowboys' fortunes.
Yep.
The Angels need to change their fortunes. It's either Mike Trout or Ohtani, or it's both. Now, after the news the other day, Trout's not going anywhere. Ohtani is...
And the news on that is that Trout potentially has a rare back issue here.
Yeah, I think, yeah, absolutely. But Ohtani, look, bottom line is, if you're going to move this guy and you're not going to sign him as a free agent because you don't know what that price is going to be, you got to trade him before a potential injury.
And he'll be a free agent after next year.
I gotta make this move right now if I'm the Angels. I really do. This is like the golden ticket to turn the whole organization around.
I mean, Dan, this is since the start of 2021. Obviously, he was the MVP last year. Mike, just leave that up just for a quick second. Go back to that graphic. Because, I mean, when you really look at these numbers, this is insane. I mean, this is what this guy's done on the bump and in the batter's box. This is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know really what the value of what he does is because we've never seen anybody with this kind of value. You're getting two for the price of one. You're getting a legitimate ace number one starting pitcher. You're getting a legitimate middle of the order bat, left-handed power, which is hard to come by. He brings a package that I don't know. It would have to be a small market of teams that, one, could afford him, and two, the inventory of players that you're going to have to get back in return. You touched on it. And it's going to be a deal like we probably haven't seen in the last 8 or 9 or maybe 10 years or more, where it's 7, 8 players are coming back for a guy like Ohtani. And 5 of those 7 are going to have to be impact guys that you're pretty sure are going to be an impact either in 2023 or 2024. Because the last thing you want to do is move this guy.
Yeah, and then not get impacted.
Yes, and you've wasted a chance to get players back.
And he's affordable still.
$5 million next year.
He is way affordable, man. Goodness gracious.
Let's also put up, you know, some teams potentially who we think, you know, if this
could be in on him.
Yeah, could potentially be in on Shohei Ohtani.
I got a list, short one too.
Well, let's start with UH and where you're going. So here's the Mariners, and these are, again, now we're just having a little fun. So
that deal ain't getting it done.
These are some trade hypotheticals, and these are some names that we're basically, you know, trying to assemble. This isn't necessarily the deal itself, but you say right away that's not enough.
No, I mean they got one. You know, George Kirby and Kyle Lewis. I get them. They've been in the big leagues, but Kyle Lewis has been injured. George Kirby, I get it, but I'm with Dan. I want some ready-made guys that I know can have an impact. A lasting impact. If I'm getting Shohei Ohtani, that's 5 players. That's just one side of the ledger. You better give me 5 more for the other part.
You're not getting 10 players for him, but I mean, you got George Kirby and Kyle Lewis on there.
Yeah, that's not enough.
Okay, all right.
That's not enough.
Right.
For me, I'm just saying for me.
And we're going to go, I think, to the Braves next. As you look at Shohei here, he's getting set. And by the way, some of you are going to see Shohei and the Angels and the Rangers later here.
All right, Dan, I'll let you have this one.
All right, now, this was the one I came up with a couple of weeks ago.
Wow.
I think it just, Kyle Wright is a really good young pitcher, right? Michael Harris, it's going to take a boatload to get this guy. And if you're the Braves, listen, that beautiful ballpark they have a revenue stream. They're generating a lot of money down there. Don't feel sorry. This isn't the Braves at old Turner Field, right? You know, this is they're not considered a big market team, but they're making some nice money down there.
If I'm the Angels, I want an Austin Riley on that list. I mean, I want an MVP type caliber player.
And here's the other thing. I don't think Atlanta's in on the picture for me.
Yeah.
Shohei, when he was a free agent coming over to America to play baseball, said, I'm staying on the West Coast.
Correct. Yeah.
So we've seen a happy Shohei perform. I'm not that he can't perform anywhere else, but you want him comfortable.
Well, and I
so
think
if I'm going to go make a trade, and I already know he didn't want to come to Atlanta because they were in bidding on him before.
Right.
Why am I going to bring him on a deal? I don't know if I'm going to get a happy guy that's ready to play every day in the same ballpark.
We're going to jump to the Cardinals real quick, but to further your point, H, I think also because, you know, look, the Asian American community in California and on the West Coast, you know, Seattle, you know, look, you got to think about that. He's got when you're not only are you getting a guy we've never really seen before, you're going to get a guy who basically has his own media, you know, following him all over the place, and you want him to be comfortable. You're going to have to deal with that contingency. So it's a team like the Dodgers, the Mariners, you know, you throw the Giants in there from that perspective. The A's, I'm just throwing the names.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Where, you know, you're going to have to. It's going to be a huge deal to get this guy, and you're going to want to make sure he's comfortable because there's going to be a lot that comes with him. All right, here's a perspective trade hypothetical from the Cardinals here. And, you know,
and those numbers, that's the number 1 prospect, number 2 prospect, number 4, and number 6.
In their organization. Nolan Gorman has come up has had a nice rookie season. You know, Walker Wynn, Baez.
Still not enough major leagues for me.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of these guys coming up through the prospect pipeline for MLB. Nice talent, don't get me wrong.
Right.
They're not major leaguers. I'm sorry, they're not there yet. They will be at some point. I get it.
Okay, here we go, Danny
this is one that I like this, and I'm adding more to it though.
Okay.
Because I'm throwing a Dustin May in there.
Okay.
And I'm throwing, obviously, Gavin Lux is in there. And I'd let them choose somebody else if you want it.
And Gonsolin, by the way, look, I mean, without Clayton Kershaw in the All-Star game being in L.A., you know, it's Gonsolin or Alcantara who are your starters, potential. Clayton Kershaw's there because that game. I mean, Clayton's had a great year, but I mean, this guy. I mean, this guy couldn't even look at potentially starting the All-Star game, and he's had an unbelievable year.
No, and look at that catcher in Cartaya. He is really a super prospect. There are a lot of people in baseball think that he's one of the top 10 prospects in all of baseball. So I think this is a package right now. It makes a lot of sense. You're getting some good players back. You're getting a team in the Dodgers that can afford to pay him, that can afford to keep him. And I would assume in a city, in a ballpark that he would love to play in. This, to me, is the best fit for Ohtani.
It's going to be a great fit. I don't think this package. I like the catcher, Gavin Lux. I don't think Goslin's the guy. I mean, he's what, 28, 29 years old already? I know he had a nice year.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Great season, fantastic. But I'm talking about Shohei Ohtani, and I'm talking about the next 3 years.
Well, Shohei, I think, is like 26. So
yeah, no, but I'm talking. He's 28, but or something like that. But the next 3 years, I got to go younger than Goslin. If I'm the Angels, I'm getting greedy because I'm holding the golden ticket.
Okay.
So I want Dustin May.
Okay.
I want to see if he's healthy.
Okay.
I know what he can do when he's healthy.
Right.
I want the young orange carrot top bringing it, and he's only 24 years old. I don't know. I just think but if there's one team I think can get that package done, it's the Dodgers.
Their farm system so great. Shohei, 28 years of age, as well as Tony Gonsolin. And then the Blue Jays here, Gabriel Moreno is the top catching prospect. We've seen him so far this year. I know what you're going to say.
Tell me my
before you even open your mouth.
Give me Vlad.
You're not seeing any established players there. Dan, what do you think?
I know the Blue Jays would love to see this happen in a multicultural city. They would love to have somebody like Ohtani. Listen, the Blue Jays need an upgrade in that starting rotation. Oh, by the way, he'd add some thump to that lineup also. I mean, this would be a great match for the Blue Jays. I just don't know, Fran, if the package of players that the Jays could put together can match what the Dodgers or the Mariners can put together. That's just from looking at it right away.
And before Angels fans watching pass out, hearing all
they're already out.
Yes, they're there.
We need a wave of life. Bring them back, Fran. Bring them back.
But again, we're just having a little fun. These are all just trade hypotheticals. Nothing's etched in stone. But Joel Sherman and John Heyman do great work. I mean, John Heyman now over the New York Post as well. And together they collaborated that the Angels have confirmed to them that if teams when they're calling the Angels for who's available, they are asking about Shohei Ohtani. And the Angels say they are listening.
And here's the other thing, guys. we've watched teams get creative. Don't be shocked if a team goes and makes a trade to get the prospect that the Angels want.
Oh, to then
move. Beef that package. I want this guy. This is my coveted guy I want. Okay, I'm going to go trade for him, bring him back. Now he's in the package. You ready to do the deal? Look, for $5 million for Shohei Ohtani, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to win a minor league title.
Yep.
I'm trying to win a world championship. This guy changes marketing everything. And so he is such a high bar. And Dan started with this. I'll end it with this. We've never seen anything like it. And so, therefore, the marketing, the people he's bringing to the ballpark, he is a walk-up sellout every time he performs.
It's
incredible.
It's amazing to me still to think that the first week of May, we were looking at the playoff picture thinking, okay, Houston and the Angels, they're going to be in.
Yeah.
We're looking at the East going, okay, maybe 3 teams in the East, Central 1 team. We already had the Astros and we had the Angels. Those were the 2 teams. How quickly they were in and then out. And now you get the news that Mike Trout, their superstar, greatest player they've ever had in the history of the organization, has a back issue. And now you have a guy like Ohtani who, if they're listening, they're going to get some offers. Because to me, he would be the most polarizing guy. And this is not knocking Juan Soto. But if you could get a guy that could affect your team on the mound with an ace pitcher and in the middle part of the lineup, sign me up.
Well, he's rewritten the MVP rule. If Shohei Ohtani is performing like this, sorry, Aaron Judge. Sorry, it's happened to Mike Trout already. Sorry, Mike Trout.
Right.
I mean, he's going to win an MVP. That's what you're getting in this guy.
Yeah, go back and look at what he's done since June 9th. I mean, ERA around 1 and an OPS close to 1,000. I mean, that's just, it's crazy.